those that want to actually join in on the particular live stream, you are stalking the desktop of my channel because they are not sending out notifications. Even though my channel is in good standings, I guess I speak how certain individuals that run these particular platforms, and that, as they say in today's time, there are no live entities running this platform, so it's nothing they can do about this particular problem that they're, you know, putting certain YouTube channels through. With that being said, hopefully I'm speaking to the people that are catching a replay. I don't know what to do about this. I done sent feedbacks. Like I said, my channel's in good standing. I don't know what the issue may be. You know, I called this particular live speak on it. I want to say I did a speak on it long before when I first started doing live streams. And hopefully we can get some people in here. If we get some people in here, we can do back and forth dialogue. You know, I'll take live calls if, you know, that is even within the cards. If not, hopefully you tune in to whenever I run the premiere for the Lions Den. It's finished and complete. That will be the next actual video that I'll probably set as a premiere where people will be able to chime in on it and say whatever they want to say within the particular conversation that will be going down that is pertinent to your living. What's going on? Nothing much, nothing much. I'm glad that you have been chiming in on some of the old Lions Dens and things like that. I've been seeing your name pop up from time to time. I appreciate you taking time out your time to, weigh in with a comment, That's what, that's what helps me drive new topics, new dialogues to tackle when you guys actually tune in and comment and say what you need to say, or be like, hey Rick, I don't think y'all kind of touched on this. If you get the chance, maybe you could touch on this particular topic. That helps the masses at large, the people at large, the people that actually take time to tune in. Oh, you said no doubt. You said Lisa Smith have you going. Well, I'm glad to have sisters on here that they're not cowering down to what they think a man may not want to hear. I want to hear it, uncensored, untethered or anything like that. You know, that's why I don't had a few sisters on here over the time that I've done had two Kudakan since 2009 on this particular channel. I always applaud women to come on and voice their opinion on whatever it may be it interaction between other sisters, be it interaction between men, be it interaction if women are in a relationship, or what they may see their uncle doing or their brother doing, or some various family member. I applaud that, and I think a lot of times that's why they hinder my particular live streams, because they know the more people that come in here and gather, the more we can spark a particular conversation. Now, if it's just me, I'm not usually one that rambles off, not being able to bounce off anybody. So if I don't have a particular topic at hand, I usually will go out at a certain amount of time, because it's like I need interaction to spark different dialogues, different areas to speak on. So if it's anything that you see that you may have on your chest that you want to speak on, or it's something that you listen to one of the older series, because I got them in series. If you go to my channel, you go to the playlist, it's I think it's either up to 9 or 8 series of the Lions Den. We done did countless numbers of those. So I know you might still be going through all of them because there's a lot, and I actually need to add another one, so it'll either be 9 or 10. 10 seasons of the Lions Den. It's been quite some time, and I appreciate the thumbs up. Be it the people that within a particular live stream, be it the people that are actually catching the replay since they're not sending out the notifications. I always get that like, Rick, I didn't even get no notifications. I didn't even know you was live. If I knew you was live, I'd have been on. I know it's not none of the subscribers issue, and that's how they try to hinder, because it's like, you know what, we don't like what he's saying. He's not doing nothing real explicit, but we want to make it seem like, all the amount of subscribers that he has, that they're not interacting. No, it's the powers that be that run these platforms that censor all type of platforms. You see people, I don't got no Facebook, but you see people get suspended on that platform all the time. I've never had a Facebook. I never had an IG. It is a Too Cool to Con IG, but I don't run it. So with that being said, it's all types of censorships because they don't want people interacting and speaking about certain things that, they don't publicize to the public. They publicize what they want you to hear, what they want you to essentially be stuck on that hamster wheel. Basically, you're spending all your energy, but you ain't going nowhere. No, I don't do that. I expose, the hidden hands that try to, have you stuck in a sheep's pen. you know. What's going on, Cadillac J Just? What's up with you? Matter of fact, um, if anybody wants to call in, matter of fact, I'm gonna drop the particular hotline number. You could call in, you could voice your opinion, you could say what you want to say, you could weigh in on various other ones. If you like, oh yeah, I caught this one, and what was this about? We could go into that too. But let me set up the hotline number so it will actually go through. I hate this, you know, steps I got to take, but it's like I'm the one that's doing everything. I do the artwork, I do the editing, I do a majority of these live streams by myself. So when it comes to firing up that hotline, I got to go into a whole bunch of settings and get that set up. So, everything will be copacetic on that tip. So just give me a little second. Make sure everything will be working as it should. I don't want to miss anybody's calls, because like I always say, I never duck calls. If you call and you got something that you want to say and voice out to the public, to the people, hey, I'm with it. I think we all have some type of information that we're missing out on, and it will help us within our sojourn to, be put up on, something that is beneficial to your growth or to someone else's growth that, you didn't know about. And, they might have been kicking around with you like, you know what, I've been thinking about this. And like, you know what, I was listening to Too Cool to Con, and Rico had a guest on, and, they got to, breaking this particular thing down. And, that's how I see it could help you in whatever you're doing. Let me see. Okay, the hotline. Let me see. And as far as around my town, they don't put my town on lockdown. So at 11:59 tonight, the town of, or I won't say the town, the whole state of Minnesota goes on lockdown. You only can go to certain places if you're getting gas or if you're getting some food, or I guess if they say you're exercising. Other than that, you're not to be outside. You're supposed to shelter in place, you know. We'll probably hear about some other states doing such as well. Let me see. I almost got the number up. Bam. The hotline is placed. Hit the hotline and I'll put you through. We can speak on whatever you want to speak on. Let me see. I should send out some it's like I gotta send out the notifications manually because they wanna act funny with actually Okay, Messiah Cheeks, what's going down? You said salute brothers tapping in already. Hit the like button. Hey, I appreciate that. Cadillac J Just, you said Reek. In and out. But what's up with them checks they talking about? Uh, so far as I know, they said those particular stimulus checks should be hitting. They said early May at the earliest, early May. If you're single, you'll receive 1,200. If you have a child, you receive 500 on top of that. If you owe child support, you won't receive anything. That's crazy, but it says you won't receive anything. If you owe taxes, they won't garnish that. But if you owe child support, you don't get anything. So, that's crazy in itself right there. People that, you know, may have a outstanding child support case, they might not even get their spirits up and happy about that because they ain't not gonna receive anything from that. And that's a cold thing during this time that they're placing the people through, closing businesses down because of something that is affecting the populace at a minute rate compared to the traditional cold, compared to the traditional flu. You know, I don't know what to say about that. As far as I know, whatever whatever vaccine that they come up with, I will not be participating in any of that. Can you cure the common cold? Oh, you can't. Can you cure the other flus? You can't. No. Matter of fact, think of it like the particular movie Scarface when Lopez put that law enforcement on Tony, and he was having a conversation when he's like, "Well, what, I gotta pay you all this? What about all these other people that are like you?" "Well, I don't know about them. It's just me you gotta pay the piper to." And essentially, Tony was like, "Fuck that! I'm not doing any of that at all." So that's the same way I think about, whatever they come up with. When, oh, look, breaking news, they don't came up with a vaccine. Don't you want to receive your shot? Just like, oh, don't you want to receive your yearly flu shots? No, I do not. I do not consent. Let me see. So, like I said, the numbers placed. Let me try to send out some more manual notifications. Let me see. And hopefully y'all got to see the ones that are in here, because like I said, nobody's really receiving notifications. So you either lucked upon or you got sent an email. Another thing I think they do sometimes, when you get notifications, it goes through your email. If it goes to spam, then it's like that's cutting off your notifications. So you got to sometimes go into your spam, like, this is not supposed to be in spam. Let me take this out of spam and put it back in my inbox so I can start receiving my notifications, because that's another slick ploy that they, try to discourage you from tuning into not just me, any other particular YouTube channel that you tune into. You got to check your spam box from time to time. What's going on, Lo? I'm glad you no notification no more. Yeah, like I said, occasionally check your spam box. Sometimes because it's other YouTube channels I watch, and I go into the spam. I'm like, oh, they're sending it there, so then I won't get the notification. I didn't place it there, but their computer system is doing that on purpose, their algorithm. All these companies are working off of quantum computers now. A lot of people aren't really up on quantum computers. That's another thing you can research on this particular platform, quantum computers. They run simulations every day to see, okay, if we did this, what would happen? If we did that, what would happen? They put them in these quantum computers that surpass regular, everyday computers, and essentially they run these models. That's what I kind of think we're going through with this particular, virus thing. They probably ran these models through these quantum computers and see, well, how would the world react if, we were to say, this minute thing, and essentially we can, create debt, because that's what it's doing. It's creating debt. And you figure, oh, They don't put so much money into the stock market. Oh, we got a $2 trillion package for the American public and all that. What they're not telling the American public, and they're going to help small businesses. Well, that whatever what's it? I think they set aside like 50 billion for small businesses, or 50 billion loans. They don't call them grants; they're called loans. So that means after whatever this runs its course, if they take those loans, they got to take on that debt, and then they got to try to resurrect their companies, and hopefully they could come back out of this. Hopefully, buyers will buy out of various different states, but if not, they'll still be on the hook with going into debt with their business and paying back the loan that they took on, instead of it being a grant. And hopefully, long as it's used for that particular business, and they don't try to be like, oh, let me just go out of business and I reap the benefits from this particular grant, which is not called a grant, it's a loan. So that's why a lot of businesses, they won't even do it. So you might see a lot of business around your way, maybe family members' way in different states, going out of business. The only ones that really are going to survive this are corporations that already get corporate welfare from the government. So, they're propping all these corporations that, you know, that'll buy, and all the little people, they'll start going away. And I see they're trying to do a spin wheel. They don't want me speaking on this particular topic because this will enlighten minds, and they don't want minds enlightened about certain situations that are happening with the people. Let me see. Okay, Lo, you said I just happened to see if you were on. I'm glad that you checked in. I'm glad a lot of people are checking in like that. Like I said, a lot of the usuals won't even get this particular live. They'll catch on a replay and like, I didn't get no notification. You can send all the messages to this particular platform, but they go unanswered, because I know I'm a part of another social media platform, and I always, because they have a account on that platform that I go on, and I send them like, yeah, I have problems with your platform all the time. They answer everyone else's, but they don't answer mine, because it's like, wait a minute, he's a melanated person. We don't want to help him. We want to act like we didn't see it. Oh, it's some type of error on my mistake. It's not a error. It's all by design. Never think that you know what they are doing is by mistake. It's by design. Just like what's going on right now. You got a curfew? Oh, this is supposed to be America of the free, but it seems like it's becoming America of, I won't even say the fee. America, do as I say. Had a 30-day free trial Gestapo. Like, oh, let me see your papers. Do you have your papers? If you do not have your papers, we'll send you off to a black site where nobody will hear from you again. Like it's old Nazi Germany or something like that. Yeah, they want to keep everybody asleep. Think about it like this. I recommend, if you haven't seen it, the movie came out in 1988. It's They Live. That movie is more real and more believable and understandable now than it ever was back in 1988. And I remember as a little kid going to see that movie with my pops and seeing like, this movie is unlike any other movie I ever watched. And it always intrigued me. That movie kind of hits me like Eyes Wide Shut, because every time I watch Eyes Wide Shut, I always see something different in it. But hopefully, if you got a streaming service, you got, hopefully if you got a, what's it, Netflix, if it's available on Netflix, if it's available on Hulu, if it's available on iTunes, if you got the old DVD somewhere, your family member got that DVD, They Live, I would highly recommend watching it. Brother on here that watches and tunes into a lot of my lives and videos that I put up, he recommended watching the movie In Time. Now, if you're familiar with it, In Time has, what's it, Justin Timberlake in it. And I remember when it first came out, that was another movie like, okay, this movie has to deal with, instead of them using money, it's like they're geoengineered where it looks like, I want to say on their left arm, it's like digital numbers in green. And they have so many hours in a day. You spend it on whatever, like, okay, I want some coffee. Coffee would be 4 minutes. So that comes off of, your time that you have. So the time is actually currency. It's no paper currency. It's the time that's within your body. And essentially, I'll start off the beginning of the movie. I don't want to spoil it, but for those that haven't seen it, he ends up running into a guy that has like 100 years, a century of time. And, he's essentially sick of living. Like, we're supposed to die. I could keep living forever. And everybody else is, he kind of breaks down. It's like, you ever notice why they always change the prices in the inner cities and in the ghettos? Because they want people to die off. It's more in the movie. He said it's more time available than people know, but they don't tell you that. They want people to die off so the small number at the top could live like kings and everybody else will be put through a living hell. Let me see. And I should have got some water. I didn't figure I would be talking as much because, like I said, the hotline is open. You can actually call, scroll through, like, oh, okay, Rick done posted a hotline number. I will call in, and maybe I haven't called. And that's the thing. When you listen to, when I take calls, like, oh, well, Rick must know them real good. No, sometimes people just call in and be like, man, I ain't never called in. I just wanted to, this is what I'm seeing in life, and hopefully someone's listening. I could, just like when you be on Instagram or you be on Facebook and you make posts, or some people make little short videos, hopefully it's something to impart to the people to help people. So that's what I look at doing my live streams, almost like an old school radio show where, oh, the number's posted now, call in, and people call in like, yeah, I done seen this. I like to do it in that style, but in an up-to-date fashion. But the ones that tune in, y'all already know that. And I know sometimes, with this being Friday, with this being, quarantine in a lot of cities, people might be getting their intoxication on right now. They might be in a noisy situation, especially they got a lot of people in the house. There ain't no clubs open, ain't no bars open, ain't no restaurants popping or anything like that. So, you got everything going on at the humble abode. But, you know, every house got some kind of little quiet area you could go to and, get on the telly real quick and like, hey, what's going on, Rick? What's going on, people that's in the particular chat? You said if you reach one person, you've done your job. Most definitely, most definitely. And the amount of subscribers I have, it should be more than 4. But I look at it like this: we're allotting you this. Someone behind the technical side of this is doing that on purpose. It's not an accident. It's not a mistake. It's countless other YouTube channels that I watch that really don't say anything and be having thousands in their particular live stream and don't be conversing with anybody. They're essentially, preaching to the people. I don't preach, I interact. So if you say something like, Rick, I'm gonna call, post the number again, prima donnas thinking I'm greater than thou or something like that. It's never been that with me. Let me see. Matter of fact, a lot of the videos that a lot of the new people that have been commenting, I may have to go back and re-listen to some of the videos because sometimes you guys start talking to me about the video, and if it's like from a year, 2, maybe 3 ago, I know when you're freshly listening to it, it seems like, yeah, well, Rick, you know what you was talking about then. It's like I done did so many videos, I had to go back and re-listen myself. I know every now and then again, me and Ken, we go back and forth like, man, someone came up to me and they was like, yeah, and y'all was talking this. It's like, wait, what video was that? You know, because that was from some years ago. You know, and then once you re-listen, then you be like, oh, okay. It's like, I don't know. It's like you do so many shows and it be like that sometimes. Yeah, as I'm going looking on my channel, like if you type in Tukuda Khan and it'll show the latest videos, it doesn't even show this particular live that's broadcasting. You got to go all the way, click on my icon, and then go all the way into either the home or straight to the videos, and then it'll show. So essentially, it's like they're not even trying to help any kind of way of getting it out to the subscribers. Because think about it like this: if it's going out to the subscribers, everybody gets a notification. Hey, he's live right now, currently. Because that's how it goes for me. Anybody I'm bell subscribed to, it'll automatically come through. I could be scrolling through eBay. I could be on Amazon. I could be scrolling for new songs on iTunes. If someone's going live or done posted a new video, it actually comes through and interrupts whatever I'm doing. I could either click on it or I can continue doing what I'm doing. But they're not even offering that at all. You said some of my old videos got viewer discretion. What do you mean? Now I done heard some people say that like you gotta click on it, you gotta be a certain age. I'm like, that's just another form of censorship. Now the only ones, and it shouldn't even say viewer discretion. It should be you can't even access, because I know some videos I just made private and you can't even see them. But far as it saying viewer discretion, that's something they probably don't placed on the video. You know, that ain't nothing that I did. You know, that's another way of, okay, we think what he's saying is too advanced for, you know, whatever demographics. So if you're not clicked in and registered as being over 18, you can't even watch this, you know. And they got those new implementations on this platform now where, you know, certain people can't watch. But if this is a uh, giant conglomerate as they put it out to be, why don't they have a kids YouTube? I want to say they do have a kids YouTube. Kids YouTube should be for kids. Like, okay, this is nothing but kids content. This should be for, you know, more adult content. You should have some type of way where they cannot view channels that are, you know, of adult content. And mostly all my channels I put where it's like this is adult content. I'll say that because I'm not saying it's for kids. And a lot of cases you got to do that now because, you know, I guess that's how they filter out kids from, I guess, watching something that's, you know, not of their age range, shall I say. Oh yeah, the videos were old school. I had to do it because, you know, sometimes now I'll say that for sure. The videos were old school. I had to do that because, sometimes people were coming in and they were trying to get old school to get triggered. And with him getting triggered, he was saying certain words that they could take as vulgar, and they can, if I didn't, change that, they could strike my channel down for it. So in a lot of cases, yeah, I enjoyed old school being on, but he would get triggered a lot, and that would, send flags like that onto my channel. You know, in this day and age, it's almost like you got to be politically correct because someone might get offended. But if this had been 10, 15 years ago, it wouldn't have been no type of issue. But we're not in those days no more. You got to think, how they're moving towards the future and how you could kind of get around that without, having them pull the whole channel down. Because I don't want that. Even though I do have a backup channel, the backup channel is Valley of the Pharaohs. You see it every time a Lion's Den goes up. When you see that little icon in the middle, Valley of the Pharaohs, that's actually Tukuda Khan's backup channel. my channel. I don't really post nothing over there, but if anything was to come about, that channel squeaky clean, I'll post over there. So if you see that Valley of the Pharaohs in the middle, next time I post, probably sometime tonight, tomorrow morning, I post a Lion's Den. You see that little icon in the middle, Valley of the Pharaohs? That's my backup channel. Okay, let me I want to make sure I ain't ducking none of your messages. Let me see. You said you saw that, you was like, wow. Okay, you said, what about the question I asked earlier about the Moss and Vegas women? Wait, you said you said mosquitoes and Vegas women getting checks because it's legal. If you can actually call in, call in, call in. Rick, I want to say this because, but if in any case, I have to have that conversation, and matter of fact, I have to become more versed in what you're saying because I haven't heard anything about that. So I'm gonna have to, yeah, I know Vegas is not operating as it should. It's probably operating on a skeleton key, but yeah. Okay, mosquitoes biting, HIV and AIDS. I haven't heard about that. I have not heard about that. You know what would be so funny? Think about it like this. The person that we done heard about having AIDS for countless years, decades. I want to since, matter of fact, Fam will put me up. He said since '91, Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson been having it that long. He hasn't passed. I know countless people that done had that. People wealthier than him. People not so wealthy. Done all. They're no longer here. They're gone. I had a family member that had it. Gone. But this man ain't got skinny nothing. It almost made me think he never had it. It made me think that he was a what's the word I'm looking for? Almost like a poster child for people to take that particular AZT stuff. And it seemed like the people that took it, they got wiped out. And if anybody knows, I know back in '94 when my family member was taking it, you know, one bottle was like $900. So just think how those pharmaceutical companies was cleaning up on people that actually had insurance in place and actually could afford them taking them that AZT drug to fight off that AIDS. They were hand over fist, and who knows what how much it is now, you know. Yeah, he never got skinny. Matter of fact, it looked like he done got bigger than when he what he once was. He's way bigger. And when I say bigger, not like cut, like gut, bigger. And I ain't never seen that happen with nobody that done had it. They done got real skinny, gaunt, and couldn't even operate on their two limbs no more. you know. But this man, oh, I got movie theaters. It's like he's the poster child. Look, you got to look like this. You got to look to him like for this. Just like, oh, look, all these rappers and or so-called rappers is getting this particular virus. I'm not even buying it. I like to know if they're card carrying Masons. That's what I like to know. Mystery school people, because it seems like them is the only ones that's catching this. Are they the new poster child in a new age of, oh, okay, it's not AIDS, but this is the new thing we're peddling. We got to get people so ramped up when we do release a certain vaccine. This is the thing that they're going to want to clamor to because, a person they may know from whatever demographics that, they subscribe to, that's going to make them come on board with that. Fuck no. I don't follow just because this person doing this and then took that. No, I ain't buying that. Read the ingredients. When you see formaldehyde is embalming fluid. If now a dead body, yeah, I guess a dead body, the preserve them so they don't be stinking at the funeral and things like that. That's good, but you are not a dead body. You are a living body. So why do you need injections of chemicals that go into a dead body? I'm good. And like I said, read the ingredients. Matter of fact, ask them this. Be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get this injection. Where's the paper that I need you to sign to show that you'll be liable if anything goes, amiss with me getting this injection? They'll never sign it. You know why? Because they're not liable. So think about it. Your little kid gets some injection and it mess them up or whatever, or you get it. They're not liable for that. So if you're not liable, I take my chances correcting how I'm eating or whatever. Build your immune system up by cutting out all these processed foods that are sold by these corporations that are getting these bailouts. Think about it like that. I don't need that. A good quote that I seen, and I want to say I posted it in my affirmations, is if the food that you're consuming has a commercial, that's the food you need to excommunicate from being within your temple. You don't need no food that has a commercial. Oh, try Hardee's, try Burger King, try me. No, those are commercials for processed bullshit food. If it got it from here, go and buy something where you can break down and make nice smoothies and things like that. You ever notice when without the alcohol, but you done made, a nice juice, you done juice something, or you just made a smoothie. Oh, let me throw these vegetables, some kale up in here, some pineapples, drop it up in here, blend it up, and go for my daily walk. Heartburns, you be kind of want to hurry, go to sleep and all that. When you eat cleaner and you drink more water and myself, I drink a lot of spring water. Put spring water in. Some people like to be on alkaline water. It's various different waters people drink. But essentially, no water is going to hurt you. Now, one water I won't mess with is Dasani. That water is trash tap water. I don't drink none of that. And I don't advise anybody else to drink that. Put your little bit of pennies together and get some better quality water than that. I ain't sponsoring no waters, but that's definitely one I would not drink and wouldn't recommend anyone drinking. Let me see. Yeah, that flu shot is garbage. Let me see. Let me go back. Um, you're saying people are not tripping on that, like Corona is like fire distraction in one area and robbery being real motive. How this situation is. Yes, it's like we live in duality. And when I say duality, they have two things going on at the same time. One people that is at a one mindset, they're only looking at, oh, well, look at this. No, are you looking at this other part of it though? Well, I really don't understand that, so I'm not going to look at it. But the person that's versed in both is like, I'm seeing more than what you can see. But they know it's people that can't see the other part. So, you just gotta, it doesn't happen overnight, because I didn't understand a lot of things overnight, but slowly but surely, when you do your own independent research, you start to understand. And a lot of times, to me, this got triggered through tragedy. This is, and I was just speaking about this, how I came about this. But say someone has high cholesterol or high blood pressure or something like that. you know Say a person doesn't have enough money to, pay for the prescription. Well, this is a ploy that the pharmaceuticals do along with the medical industry that claim to take the hypocritical oath and be caring for the actual patients, when that's a bunch of BS. Okay, say you can't afford it. Well, they'll say this, well, we have samples. You could take the samples. If you can't afford the prescription, you could take the sample. But what people don't know, if they take that sample and say they don't go back and get more samples or have enough money to get prescriptions, a lot of that medication you can't just, you have to be weaned off. You can't just stop taking it, because if you stop taking it, that'll create clots, and if you get a clot, that can block an artery where you can actually um it can affect you in a few ways. You can have a stroke. You could have what is that? One of those clots go off into your brain, and you could die that way. But in that case, if that happens and it's just by the not a prescription, but free samples, they're not liable for that because you took that free willingly. It wasn't prescribed to you. You took it. So that's why when you see all these commercials say, ask your doctor for trials or what it is, and they're telling you all the things that it's gonna do and mess you up. Well, as soon as you stop taking it and you don't take it as a regimen and you get weaned off, or you don't change your diet or however where you're needed to improve to not take this kind of medicine, it knocks you off and they're not liable. Same way, like I said, for whatever vaccine they come up with, you know, it's gonna trigger certain things in you that they came up with them now. So no, I'm good. If you can't guarantee that, okay, if you can't compensate them, if something happens to me from taking your experimental drug that probably doesn't have any trials of people actually taking this, or matter of fact, look at it like this: a lot of drugs that they prescribe don't work in melanated people. They don't tell you that. They'll tell you test studies. Oh, well, we tried this in a lot of people over in Sweden and a lot of people in Croatia, and think, have you tried it on any melanated people? And how was the results from them taking it? If you cannot tell me that, I cannot take this. If you cannot guarantee that if something happens to me and my loved ones won't be able to, you know, sue or, make whole from me leaving from taking this particular drug, I can't take it. Point blank. Now let me see. That it's in keeping the pharmaceutical industrial, the military industrial complex in place. And that's so crazy because think about it like this. I even heard this and it made sense. They said, why do people have to pay taxes if the government can print as much money as they want? Think about it like that. I kind of thought about that. Like, if you could print, if they got the printing press and they could print however much money they want, why do they even need taxes from the people? Why? Because they have something in place. Essentially, the money is the slavery. You got to have this amount. Just think, okay, your ticket costs this much. If you get caught outside, we're gonna find you 500. If you don't got, essentially what we're robbing you for, or we could really put you into addiction slavery. But people don't look at it like that. Let me see. You said I was saying if Horn is legal and they file taxes, they should be entitled to a stimulus. Uh, the key word you said is if. If we got to deal in what is actually actuality, and think about it like this: even though it's a lot of weed dispensaries popping up, in certain parts of the law, it's still illegal. So in certain ways, a lot of them dispensaries sometimes they get raided every now and then because depending on which way a person is looking at the law, they could run into complications. Now, I guess it just depends on what type of uh, what type of team you have in place as far as laws, knowing the laws, how you're operating. You gotta be kind of versed in it. You can't just be like, okay, I done heard these few things and I'm gonna run with it that way. You gotta be versed all the way in, so you're protecting you're protecting, essentially investors, whoever invests in your business to, get your startup going and things, depending on what state you're in. Yeah, they think about it. They run all these commercials. They have billboards. They have all this, and they probably getting kickbacks. Like I said, from the government. They always talk about, oh, this person's on welfare. No, let's talk about these corporations that are on corporate welfare that get so much money to spread this. Oh, look, Coca-Cola. You want to buy it? Oh, Pepsi. You see big billboards, digital billboards. You be scrolling on certain social media you be seeing them pop up. You know, buy. Oh, do we want to treat our workers right? No, we don't want to do any of that. Healthcare for these workers right? No, we don't do that. But buy this product. Buy this product. Talk to the people that work at these certain companies. What are y'all putting in there? Man, I wouldn't even mess around and drink any of that. They be doing this. Think about it like this. You got family members that work at the Pepsi plant, the Coca-Cola plant, that work processing the meat that go to some of these fast food places. Holler at them, like, what do y'all really be doing? Because you're getting the first line information right from them. They work there. Like, man, I be doing this every day. A lot of the public don't even know about this. Like, oh, really? This is how you inform the people. Just coming on my particular platform, even not my platform, any other platform, and spreading the information that people need to know. People need to know this, so they ain't getting hurt. The family members ain't getting hurt and things like this. We always, oh, my baby, I miss him and all this. Well, did you kind of put it in someone's ear, like, hey, this route you was going, that could have all been avoided, That's why I think we need to start communicating more. I mean, yeah, oh, I got this. I done got this new car and all this. None of that means nothing. You see what we're going through now? I was just thinking about, like, man, I need to get tabs for my car. But you know what? None of the DMVs is open. So now I got to sit and mail off for tabs when I'm usually used to going into the place to buy them. So that done changed everything up. If it get to the end in a month, I ain't gonna take a check car. I'm gonna have to put it up and pull out one of my other cars where the tabs is good, because we in some kind of times that we don't know. And you figure if the counties ain't open and if they feel under the discretion to arrest you, how you getting out? Think about it like that too. How you getting out? Well, we ain't got no judges working. We ain't got no people to the system's down. So you just be in here till whenever this goes about, further setting you back. Nah. You gotta kind of pre-think things, I mean, I know I didn't expect it to come to this level, but it has. So now we gotta plan accordingly. Let me see. Some of those blood pressure pills make black people swell up. Most definitely. Like I said, I changed my diet. Matter of fact, I was lucky enough to have doctor. He was of color. He was a Indian brother from India, and he put me up on it. He said, you know what? I see you've been taking medication, so for being sick and having a flu, so that stuff makes your blood pressure rise up. But just if you didn't know, make sure you put more water into your life. Stay away from juices and pops. Those, especially that high fructose corn syrup, that raises your blood pressure. A lot of people don't know that. You drink all that, it makes your blood more acidy, and it raises your blood pressure. If you need some kind of sweets, cut out candies. I know you may like candies. I know you may like cakes. Start to cut down. You don't have to straight cut cold turkey if you've been doing it for so long, but cut down. Like, you know what? I ain't gonna buy this. He said a good way to do it. Think of trail mix. A lot of people are like, trail mix, but it's just enough sweetness in there to deal with, what you need to deal with, and it gets you through that hump. You start reprogramming your mind, versus, you go into these places and you start looking at some of the candies, because now they got to put what's in there, how much of whatever is in there. Start reading the packages, like, man, okay, it got this much in there. Because I look at it like this. I remember when I was a teen, I used to go to high school, and you didn't want to eat the lunch at school. You would go off campus. I would go off campus, and I remember a lot of us, we would walk up to the, this little store that was, not too far from the high school campus. And I would always get, these burritos, little burritos, and, get a cool little pop, and I'd be good. But, your body's at a different stage when you're younger. But now I went into the same little store that sold the same little stuff back then, and I started reading the content. Okay, now if they say, and this is it's probably lower than this, but they're saying the maximum amount of sodium. And if you don't know what sodium is, it's salt. The maximum amount they say it's 1,500 milligrams of sodium or so-called salt that you're supposed to be allotted a day. This particular burrito that I used to eat back in high school was 1,500 alone by itself, just a burrito, not even include no pops, not even include no candy, Skittles, whatever. Just that one burrito. So that means you exceeded your salt intake for that one day. So just imagine if you continuously eat that, you're getting older. That's where your blood pressure, that's one part of it. You're not drinking water to flush all those salts out of your body. That's adding to it. So you gotta, it's almost like doing an inventory, like, okay, how's this money going out? I'm spending this way. Well, how am I adding up all this sodium? How's all this sodium adding up in me to have high blood pressure? Okay, it says I done exceeded this. I need to cut this out. A lot of people like soups. If you look at some of them Campbell soups, some of them soups, the sodium is like 1,900 for one can. You really exceeded. You exceeded it by 400. So you exceeded 15, and then you added another 400 on top of that. So think about it like you're going into debt. You're going into debt of putting salt down on your body, which in turn is making your blood pressure go up, which in turn is making your heart pump. That's why they call it heart disease, dis-ease in your heart, because you're overloading it with all this sodium. And think about it, you get mad and it's racing even more. It's pumping harder and working harder, and that's doing a disservice to you, essentially doing a disservice to you and yours. Because when you're gone, if you got a little child, and they're trying to weather their way through the world, they're missing that piece. You don't want to be the missing link, out of their life. You got to be there for them. So, or your loved one, you may got a helpmate or something like that. You may got a mother or a brother that may depend on you. Whatever way you look at it, you gotta start adding up like this. And they put a lot of spin, a lot of, oh look, we had this rapper, this celebrity talking about this food. Fuck that. I could give a fuck, because they probably don't eat any of that. Matter of fact, I remember, and I'll get to y'all's comments. I'm just trying to, run with this particular topic. I was watching, what's that movie Napoleon Dynamite. And every now and then I'll turn on the commentary, and the guy that played Uncle Rico or whatever, in the movie he's eating steak. But if you play the commentary, it's like, I was not a meat eater, but I would eat the steak, and after certain takes I would spit it out. So if you didn't listen to that, you're like, oh, he's eating a steak. Well, people with steaks, they're like that. But in actuality, he was not eating it. He would perceive to be eating it. So certain things they do out in the public. Oh, and I can't go without my Arby's burger and all this. But they don't eat that. They're just getting a paycheck for that, or getting compensated in some type of way. Well, if you do this, you'll have a part in this next role or whatever. Basically deceiving the public. Yeah, and I mean, people do like their steak, and I'm not saying, it's bad not to like it, but everything is about moderation. Some people be like, I love steak so much I eat it every day. Now they ain't good for you, But people do what they do. Let me see. What am I looking at? You said I automatically don't eat pork, no cigarettes, pop, sweets. Funny as hell about fast food. Yeah, I remember this had to be about 10 years ago. My partner put me up on it, because I used to eat ribs and all that. I used to eat swine, but one day I just stopped, and you're like, you know what? I ain't even eating none of that no more. My partner, matter of fact, Double R, that, if you catch, in the playlist of Hustling, he put me up on it. He's like, man, I just don't like pork, something about it. And then, I started hearing how that was another contributor of high blood pressure, and a lot of people getting dementia and stuff, because all that nasty fat is, going in your bloodstream and, accumulating in your brain and things, and where it's messing with the sharpness of your thinking. And I don't want nothing messing with the sharpness of how I think and perceive things. So I say, you know what, I'm gonna cut this out. Now I still stuck to meat, and I kind of curtailed it. You know, I like steak, and I ain't gonna lie, I done brought steak back a little bit for again from time to time, and I cut it down to just having fish. And I would either have like salmons or some cods or some whiting fish and things like that. But then it's like, you know what? I kind of want the taste of red meat a little bit, and I started incorporating steak back in. But I always been kind of like a salad person. I always make salads, but I'll make them to the ways that I like them, because a lot of people are like, oh, salad, I don't like that. It's about how you make it, what you put in it. You know, try not to use too many dressings, because that's a lot of things that can, you know, I use like either vinegars or vinaigrettes, or things like that. To kind of cut down on the unnecessary fat that you don't need, because cholesterol is a thing too. We got cholesterol that can be high, and you also got your blood pressure can be high, and it's about cutting out certain things. And fire smoking, I never smoked cigarettes like that, and it's been a long year since I blow weed, so that wasn't a factor. But I used to smoke Black and Milds. I used to time smoke Black and Milds, and I cut them out, and that's probably been maybe 15 years or something like that. I used to smoke Black and Milds like they were going out of style. But every now and then, what? Let me you know, race you real quick, or you jump on a bike and try to do something. You're like, what? Why am I getting winded? I don't even like this. As soon as you cut that out, all my sprinting and everything came back and everything like that. That's real. Them cigars, they do something to you. Because Black and Milds, it seems like you smoke them more than, people smoke the big stogies and things like that. To each his own. Every now and then, I guess someone wants a stogie, you have one. But Black and Milds, it seems like you could smoke them damn near every day. Yeah, I enjoy salads a lot. It's just like I said, it depends on how you fix them. Because you can watch some people fix them like, oh, I'm putting bacon bits in. I don't put no swine or imitation swine in none of my salad at all. That ain't how I operate. Matter of fact, I want to make sure. Let me see something. Let me. I ain't got no water, and I just been talking and talking and talking. Hopefully, we can get someone that wants to call in. Let me see. And I see it's straight spin wheeling, so I don't know if y'all can still hear me. Let me know if you can, because they got the constant spin wheeling going, at least on my side. So I don't know if you're actually catching this live still or not. Now, I guess I know you're listening. If you see that hotline number, you're calling. What's going on, Rick? This is Wooty 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 Woo. I'm calling in about this. You know, I've been enjoying this so far or whatever. Thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. I always appreciate the thumbs up. Hopefully that assists. I always say hopefully that assists the notifications, but apparently it doesn't matter if you thumbs up or thumbs down. It's still just they're not getting sent out, and it doesn't matter how much I whatever. But like I said, as long as you're catching the replays, the people that rock with me, from the people that have been really rocking me with me for years, to the person that just joined for a month or two or a week ago, hey, I appreciate you taking time out your time to listen and comment. Comment even after this live goes up, and it's a turns into a video. Like, oh yeah, I appreciate. Next time I may call in or something like that. Cause how I look at it, after I go off of this, I'll finish. I just need to upload it to the Lions Den podcast up to YouTube. That will be the next actual video appearing after this live turns into a actual video. So Okay, you can hear. Okay, so that's what it will be. So if nobody else has anything else to add, we done been on 61 minutes. Half the time I always be like, hey, if we ain't get no interaction after 15 minutes, I'm going out. But y'all kind of sparked some things for me to talk about a little bit. I appreciate that. Even though nobody really wanted to call in or anything like that, I still appreciate the comments. I still appreciate y'all taking time to tune into whatever videos that I got on there. I got 800 something videos on the channel, and if I unlock some other ones, it'd probably be more than that. But out of respect to um, some women that reached out to me like a real woman and said, you know what, I don't really see myself, and I respected their request and pulled their videos down. You know, you got to do that from time to time. We all got that point in us where we could be like assholes and like, you know what, I ain't gonna do it. But, you know, karma's real. It'll come back to bite you if you think like that. So I don't think of it as a loss because there was a lot of pertinent information in some of them conversations. But, it'll come around and, in a way, with having the infamous Lisa Smith on here, she imparts some things that maybe not too quite like some of them older conversations I had with other females, but it's still something that's needed within these days and times for men or women. So, with that being said, I'm glad y'all tuned in. Matter of fact, don't really go anywhere. Still be checking. I know you're up. It's a Friday night. Hey, the Lion's Den with Professor Ken and Reek will be coming at you next. Be looking. Hopefully, it should be. Appreciate y'all. I'm up.